Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Thorpe 1999 project. We're now on to part 5 of the Pirates 4D build, and today we're finally tackling the front of this massive facade. There's a lot of smaller, fiddly sections in this one, so let's jump right in. I start by building one of the smaller sections on the front of the building. Just like before, I used some of my template pieces, trims, window frames, the usual helpers, and then adjust them so that they match the references perfectly. Once the structure is roughed in, I add the door, fill the wall sections, and start putting in the trims. These little details do so much to break up the flat surfaces and make it feel like the real building again. This is the big one, the large central section with the 3 sets of double doors. This is the part everyone will recognise while they entered the theatre. I began by adding all the windows and trim pieces, then worked my way down to the triple entrance doors themselves. I also add some decorative roof details to match the old facade. There is a lot of symmetry here, except for the doors at the bottom. But all of that helps get that classic look just right. Now I move back over to the left side of the building to create the section with that unusually large door. This one's a mystery to me. I'm not sure whether this was a functioning door or a faux facade element. My guess is that it may have been used to bring in large equipment or show props, but if anyone knows for sure, please let me know in the comments. Further along the left side is a little shed-like extension, with a small roof poking out. This section is full of weird intersecting angles, so it took a little while to get right. I added the trim, the roof, some vents, and then round to the other side for another vent and some doors. I cleaned it up so it sits properly with the rest of the building, and then moved on. If you're enjoying the project and want to dive deeper behind the scenes, consider joining the community on Patreon. You'll get access to exclusive content, early builds of the game, and some great rewards along the way. Massive thanks to all the current supporters. Every bit of support helps keep the project moving. Now back to it. Now on to the last major sections of the facade on the right hand side. The windows and most of the door frames are fairly straightforward to build, but the large door frame and angled bay window here were definitely a little bit more tricky. Lots of bevels and odd shapes, and generally not just a square building like most of it is. Once all of those were in place, I added the trim pieces and then began texturing everything and filling in the gaps. The nice thing about this section of the building is that the ground floor was extremely similar to the section across, so I was able to save time by copying and pasting it over and adjusting the textures and details. With all the major geometry now in place, I add the little planters that sit either side of the stairs at the far end of the building. It's a nice simple detail that helps tie the scene together. Then I take a final trip around the entire model to clean up the mesh, realign textures, fix any bad geometry, and make sure nothing is clipping or floating in the air. I then remove my template pieces. So that wraps it up for part 5. The entire facade is finally all there, and it's really starting to look like Pirates 4D again. Next time, I'll be focusing on all of the smaller details, fencing and railings and the canopies outside, and some finishing touches before I head over into Unreal to give it proper textures. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.